born in Kinshasa, then Rabat, Morocco, then Kinshasa, then Dar es Salaam, then Lubumbashi, then Dar es Salaam, then Paris. So what time are you when you reach Paris?
When
And what old are you when you reach Paris?
I finished school, so I'm 18.
18, okay.
Yeah, I'm 18 because I'm going to university.
So
No,
you
no,
in
no,
Paris.
not 18 actually. I'm 19 because there was one year when you used to do the dancing, we all failed. All the dancers, we didn't make it one year. So you got to put it in consideration.
Arsene
So
is saying this is the story of our life.
yeah. So
So now you're in Paris.
yes.
So you actually grew up in Paris between age 2 and 10.
So, yeah.
So now you're back as a teenager. What? So what year is that?
Well, it's we. So I finish school. I get my comment on appelle diplôme d'état in Congo. I decided to stay one more year just to have fun in Dar es Salaam. So after that, I take one full year of break, just partying like crazy, having fun. And after that, I go to France. So that we are in 89.
So
So
89, you're in Paris. So
yeah,
that's like
somewhere in 18,
before.
19,
That's even
20.
before French rap. I mean, it's the early
French
French
rap.
rap, and I
Yeah.
think from my memory, so at that I think I'm 15 at that time.
Okay. So
Wait,
listen.
74, 80. Yeah, I'm 14, and I remember that I used to be. You know what was the scariest place for me in
Yeah.
Paris?
No.
La Place Carrée.
La Place
I
Carrée.
was scared of that
Really?
place. Listen,
Oh,
I because don't forget that at that time my dad is an ambassador
yes.
and I live in Boulevard Montmorency, 16e arrondissement,
Uh-huh.
and whenever I leave the house is to go in the car with a driver, and I only take the subway for the first time when I'm 15. And I remember in school I had my friend that used to be with me in school, Carole Farah, who tells me, hey, we have to go to Musée du Louvre for this thing. And so we take the metro for the first time. For me, that was the first time, and I'm with une doudou, a
La
coat
jaquette.
in my jacket was in en daim.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
It was a
yeah.
chevignon en
Oh,
daim.
ooh.
My
Okay.
my jeans was Marité François Girbeau, and I had
Okay.
Western shoes. So for me, when she says, "Oh yeah, don't worry, to go to the Louvre, we're gonna pass through La Place Carrée," to me, I was like, "Oh, c'est fini. Ils vont me faire dépouiller.
Ils vont te dépouiller.
Ils vont me dépouiller."
C'était pas. Ouais, ouais,
because
ouais, ouais.
because at that time in
Yeah.
Paris, you have the
Ouh.
skinheads, you have and you have the les
Les
Kaira, you
requins,
have
les Kaira, les requins vicieux, tous ces groupes-là étaient là. It was
so to
crazy.
me at that time Paris, I was scared of, like, Châtelet was not a place. Listen, I was 16e arrondissement, Tour Eiffel, where I had my school, Catholic school, Champs-Élysées, Champs-Disques, maybe, but that's the first time I take, and Carole, she was like, yeah, let's go. She didn't care. So she was like, yeah, let's go. So, and then we passed in the middle of La Place Carrée. Listen, my heart was pounding. I was like, oh no. And I'm like, oh my God, I have the Chevignon. They're gonna take it. Like, to me, that part of Paris was, at that time I'm 15. Now
Yeah.
that part of Paris was so scary. I think I was starting to write some raps, but I never performed in front of people and stuff. And I was like, like little petit enfant modèle, petit écolier modèle. So
Yeah.
at that time, Paris to me is so scary outside of my little 16e arrondissement. So how was it for you?
Oh my God. So, first of all, I don't go to Paris. My parents send me to Lille to study. I have to
Oh,
go, I go to Lille to study. Now,
Euralil. All
yeah,
right.
but mind you that in Lubumbashi, something crazy happened. In my school, I have a teacher, he was from Kivu. He was from Kivu, from Rwanda. I don't know, from Kivu or Rwanda, something like that.
Okay.
This teacher was special, history teacher. He will take us back in school to teach us the history of colonialism. He had videos, he has all these things. So we see how those Europeans destroyed us, right? And bro, I became a pro black.
Oh.
And I
And that's
moved to
the
Paris.
time where everybody's on Malcolm X and stuff.
Exactly. So I'm coming to Paris with that spirit. You know, I'm in Paris. My friend Malcolm, they live in, we meet, they live. So in Lille, we meet. Malcolm was also a student. Uh, he was coming from, he grew up in Canada and in American base. He's very into hip hop. Him and his brother, on a le top, all those crazy haircut that everybody had at that time from, exactly the
At
top.
that time, I had the Bobby Brown. I think I have the Don't Be Cruel
Oh
haircut.
yeah, the don't be cruel. So can you imagine? So that time it's crazy for me because I'm going to this country, I'm going to France. My dad is a diplomat, but he's coming back to the country. And diplomats, in Congo at that time, problem happened. Finances problem happened. So here we go.
That's the
I
first
mean,
exile.
yeah, that's the first time I'm going to France. I'm going back to France. Everything was moving forward. I get to school, everything is fine. And situation is complicated because I don't have money. I don't have that much money, right? Like I used to live everywhere, Pénard, suddenly c'est un peu la galère, I'm like, oh. So I'm with my sister. Anyway, there we meet with all these guys. We became the crew. I'm like the chief of the gang,
Wait a
moving
minute.
everybody. Yeah.
You meet with who?
So all these guys we meet in Lille, we became a crew
Okay.
together. But mind you, the crew is, I'm a pro black coming from an English part. You have Malcolm, who grew up in a state, who was also a breakdancer, who used to dance breakdance as well, and very pro black.
Thank you,
So
Oko.
so all of us, we are very, very into like, blackness and hip hop and hardcore. So, but American. Etienne, my brother, is already in New York. Okay.
Oh. So
Yeah.
you went to Paris and your brother went to New York.
Yeah, my brother was already in New York. And Etienne was in New York. So I'm in connection with him, talking to him. So we're listening to hip hop. Now, Paris have Radio Nova.
Yeah. My sister used to go there all the time.
Yeah. Okay, Radio Nova, it's popping. The music was awesome. We gotta agree on that. Man. The hip hop was
DJ
amazing.
Dynasty.
Yeah, DJ Dynasty. So Dynasty was just incredible. Music is incredible. But I told you I was rapping already, but I was rapping in English.
Yeah.
And I used to play guitar. So I will go at Châtelet Léal with my guitar and I will play songs and I
Okay.
will rap.
Wow. Rap
Yeah.
while playing the guitar?
Yeah, people will
Damn.
come there. There's, the circle. Of course, they don't give you money. We never asked for money. We just to do that fun and everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that was a thing that I used to do there. And so from that point, hip hop is growing, but the French guys, they're now rapping in English. They're not rapping in French yet. They're rapping, they're listening to. So they coming to me and Mark. They're like, yo, can we translate? Can you translate this part, put it in French for us? So what I used to do, I would listen to the tracks, write it down the lyrics in French, give it to some kids, and they were able to rap the French. So French hip hop really came from taking lyrics from American hip hop
Yeah.
and to translate them.
MKM,
And
what up?
so yeah, at that time, so we had a show at Quai d'Orsay. And
Okay.
hip hop was very violent, by the way, in Paris.
That's true. Like
It was violent. It was not a fun thing. It was
yeah,
violent.
the
Châtelet Léal,
parties were crazy.
fighting every day. Every party
Gunshots
had
in
a
the
fight.
parties. I remember gunshots.
Yeah, exactly. So it was crazy.
I used to go dance at, I don't know if you were there, but by 92, my sister and I we would go dance at Terry's party at Place Clichy.
Ah, Place
Place
Clichy, yeah.
the place was called Le Chapelet. Wait. Yeah, it was the Chapelet.
Oh, I think we went there.
It was like a small thing, and down. Yeah,
They had stairs?
you had to go downstairs, and then it was
Yeah.
like hot in there, and everybody was dancing. Was just dancing.
Yeah,
Everybody was like, and me and Ike would come always dressed the same. Me and my sister, like, so that's 91 maybe, and we would do choreographies from things we would see on TV. So we would like, and especially when we used to go to Belgium, we would see the Magical Band and all of them,
Magical Band,
and so we would like look at all the moves and then come back with the moves, and then we like.
It was fun.
Le Chapelet, c'était
Yeah.
le Chapelet à
Chapelet.
Place Clichy.
Place Clichy, yeah. So so hip hop is going on, and one thing is I say I was pro-black. So we were.
What up,
I think
Kendrick?
Paris was changing because Paris was becoming a little bit more hardcore. Violence
Okay.
was start creeping in. Kids didn't want to go to school anymore. Women was very rude. Guys were really rude.
And then you had skinheads.
The skinhead that we had to go and fight. I remember we used to get together to go to La Défense to meet them with the crew. We go to beat them there. We used to go and fight them. Yeah, we used to do that. Paris. That's how we get. Washington, not Washington Square. Châtelet Léal used to be the area of skinheads. But the Africans, all of us, we start beating them up. We kick them out of that place.
That's crazy.
They got kicked out. They went to La Défense. We decided to follow them at La Défense. So
Wow. So
and
this is the times of, I mean, those names for me, who I was at that time, I'm probably 16. When I would hear names like Requin Vicieux, à La Défense, the name of the crew was,
they had a lot of crews in Paris. It was
I
terrible.
think it was the Requin. It was the Requin something too.
Yeah. They had a lot. I don't
Requin
remember
Vicieux
all.
was Maurice and them, and then you had
Popular one.
the one from La Défense. I forgot the name, and then I would hear it.
Saint-Denis aussi, huh?
Nah, like, I would listen. Do you think I would go there
That was
at that
crazy.
time? No, at that time. Listen, Champs-Élysées was the furthest I would go. Everything else to me at that time was
It was too dangerous.
of dangerous territory. Like
Yeah,
we were scared. Like only when we started rapping, then we really started taking the RER. But at that time, nah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Nah, I wouldn't go there. But I remember because
Yeah.
some my sister was hanging out with the girls from La Défense.
Okay.
So
So she was,
that's
but you
when,
know,
and because of we started to be in the rap thing, we would meet a lot of
yeah,
people from
yeah, yeah,
everywhere. They didn't know where we were coming from. Everybody was reunited around
yeah. The
the
music,
dancing and the music and the rapping.
it
So
was great.
it
It
was
was great.
it was and at the same time, yeah, it was we would hear about things that would happen at Place Les Fêtes, Place des
Yeah,
Fêtes, things that would happen at
yeah.
le 18e, those places. Like, nah,
Yeah, those quartiers,
us
they were crazy. And one
us was
thing,
16e rue de la Pompe,
yeah, yeah,
Champs-Élysées,
okay.
Vaugirard, le 15e. Nah, we were not leaving that area. West Side,
Look, we
Paris,
were
West,
all over.
Southwest Side,
Oh my
Porte de la
God, no.
Muette.
Okay. Paris was crazy. And at that time, we were so crazy story. Paris is dangerous. These young kids are going crazy. They don't want to go to school anymore. Paris starts selling shit, drug. You know, that's where the shit started at that time because we're watching video. So what happened is the videos, hardcore hip hop, was happening in the US. People used to watch the video and they used to replicate what they used to see, and they thought it was very good, right?
Mm,
But nobody knew what the ghetto looks like in the US. So at
mm.
that time, a friend of we meet this guy coming from the US, coming from the ghetto, an African American from US who's coming from Brooklyn, right? We become friends with him. And he's pissed at the Parisian. So mad.
Ah oui, Hope Vision, BD, merci. Merci, désolé.
You know?
Black Dragon.
Can you imagine? So this guy is pissed. He's like, what's going on with the French kid?
Uh-oh.
We're trying to read, we live in the ghetto because we can, we're trying to get out of the ghetto. You guys are creating the ghetto.
They're
So at that,
emulating.
exactly,
Because at
emulating.
that time, that's when KRS-One are doing the
They're doing
self-destruction. And there
self-destruction, everything was about
there's a
to
move in the US to
fight the power came in.
and the more
Yeah,
African roots, back to the roots, etc. At that time.
exactly. That was the time. That's when I moved to US. So I moved to
So
United States.
wait. So for now, you are about the guy who come to there. So why did you
That guy,
decide to move to the US?
well, because listen, I'll tell you the crazy story. So this is the thing. I'm still student in Lille. So when I leave Lille, I go to Paris. When I leave Lille, I go to Paris. That's all I used to do.
Okay, so you
But
were going back and forth between Lille
yeah, because I
and
was a student. I had to go to school and
but you were
vacation.
going to school. Oh, vacation, you would go to Paris. Okay.
Yeah, after that,
Lille was
after
probably so boring.
exactly. Well, it was not that boring. There, I discovered the music, the African music,
Yeah,
because
true. There's a
they
lot
had a lot
of
of people from Cameroon. They have those le coco, the clubs,
Frankie is
Ivoirien.
saying.
That's why I discover more the other Africans. I have Cameroon.
Frankie is saying, I was sure that Funky Pirate was kind of gangster. I guess that Tyrone jawline doesn't like.
So you know what? It was really funny, but well, so these things start going to the wrong direction because
Okay.
we were dancing, but Paris is getting dangerous, and we as young people, we getting more violent, right? I used to go to Paris. I had two, comment on appelle encore les marteaux là? My goodness.
Two hammers?
Yeah, in my bag. I had the hammers in my bag. I was prepared
Yo,
for
that's a
any
lot of
attack.
fight.
Yeah, I had the hammer. I had also the music because I had music from the US, WBLS, those radios.
You
So
had
my
cassettes.
music, Oh man, I had the cassette with all the new thing, all the new beats. I used to get my brother was hooking me up with all the stuff. So every new track I had, and I had a radio on the metro, I would play my music
Oh my
for the
God, you were
drivers.
one of them.
Those friends hated that. They were so
And
pissed.
people were probably scared of you.
Oh yeah, they were because I had my thing, the haircut, and the police arrested me actually one time. I got arrested.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, it was crazy, and so Paris got a little bit kind of crazy. So this guy come and he's speaking to me because he realized I could speak English, and he's like, "Bro, what's going on here?" I'm like, he's like, "Why these guys are doing this? Why you guys are doing this? What going on?" I was like, "Yo, they're following hip hop." It's like, "No, that's not hip hop. That's the
Hmm.
wrong thing to do. We trying to leave the ghetto. You guys are creating the ghetto." So he was not happy to see what he found in Paris.
Hmm.
So I joined him in a fight to start telling Parisian, we shouldn't do this, we shouldn't smoke weed, we shouldn't do that. I changed the script.
It didn't work.
It didn't know. I know it didn't work, but we did whatever we had to do. But
Yep.
I was still in the scene with all these guys anyway. But
Yeah, yeah.
we start being conscious now.